What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean, and welcome to another insane week of live video game hunting. If you don't know, this is a series where I show you all the awesome stuff I've gotten through yard sales, garage sales, flea markets. I go to thrift stores like Goodwill and Salvation Army, and I use apps like LetGo, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook, whatever I can use to get my hands on awesome games at excellent prices. And we got an absolute mountain of stuff to go through. So make sure you stick through to the end of the video because I go over everything on a one-on-one level, as well as anything you didn't see on camera. But I also announced the winner to the weekly contest giveaway. If you want to be entered, the rules are super simple. Obviously, be subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. If you want a little extra credit, share the video so other people can see these amazing finds. Links to everything in the description, Instagram, eBay store, Twitch channel, P.O. Box, all that stuff can be found right down below. This is an excellent week. Like, I'm over here looking at this mountain and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how I do it, but we did it and I am absolutely ecstatic about it. So I want you all to sit back and relax. Enjoy these awesome pickups. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody had a great week and had some awesome finds. If you did, let me know in the comments. Hell, if you didn't find anything good, let me know. I like hearing what you people find out there. Some weeks are great, some weeks are absolute ass. It's just the way it goes with game hunting. But anyways, here we are with the first pickup of the week. And I noticed this guy was setting out some DS games and some PlayStation 2 games. Nothing crazy or heavy hitting in there, but I do find some that I did not have. Now, one of the biggest problems with this pickup is it would have been a lot better had a lot of the games actually been in the cases. And I find that happens a lot more when it comes to DS games. They're typically always missing, so always make sure you're at least checking them first. And at least this guy's got the common decency to check them. He was checking them before I even did because he knew that there is a chance that they may not even be in there. And you may even get a surprise opening up these cases. There's been many situations where I open up something only to find another game. A lot of times it's never nothing good, but hell, you can open up a case of Despicable Me for the DS and find that there's Pokemon X or something there. You never know. I'm trying to make a more solid effort to open up as many cases. Even if it's a game that I don't want, I want to check them. Especially when it comes to games like, for the DS or the Wii. They just tend to get mixed up so easily. The only game that I already had was Sonic Colors, and I picked it up for resale to recoup the cost of what I spent here, which was $15. I got about 5 games in this really awesome Yoshi bag. I'm a sucker for Nintendo memorabilia. That makes this $15 pickup that much better because instead of paying $3 a piece for these games, I'm only really paying about $1, $1.50, which is a great price. And that's what you got to understand. It's okay when you get a bundle like this. If there's going to be 1 or 2 to resell, you can pay a little bit higher price because, like I said, it's going to make the other games a whole lot cheaper. Here you can see that really awesome Yoshi bag. Unfortunately, there was nothing else in this box. I was hoping for maybe like some hidden PlayStation 1 games or something, but there was nothing like that in there. But to come out with the 5 games in the Yoshi bag for $15, one game being worth, $10, $12 alone, it was a great pickup. And of course, I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm grabbing. I'm still trying to learn these glasses. I've had them for 23, 24 episodes now, and it's still weird, looking at these games like in the downward position with your head. It's not as easy as it looks. And so we'll go over everything in the pickups at the end of the video, and I'll tell you everything that I got because I know it's kind of hard to see here. Now, a table not too far from the pickup you just saw, this lady had a huge box of UMD movies for the PlayStation Portable. I am really getting into collecting these things, typically because I can find them super dirt cheap, and they're awesome. I mean, if you don't know, it's a full-length movie. They have TV shows, and you can watch them on your PSP. They were really popular at one point, and now they just seem like they are all over the place, and nobody wants them except for me, and I'm going to collect the hell out of them. I think it's really cool because you can get some really awesome movies, and it's just, like I said, they're usually very cheap. So with these movies right here, I asked them how much they wanted, and they said $1 a piece, and right then and there, that's an excellent deal. Not only that, but I got a bundle deal at the end of it, so it was an excellent pickup. I got some really solid titles here. You see them throw that big old box up here, and I'm just ready to get my hands in there and start digging. Now, of course, this leads to question on why the hell does he have all these UMD movies? And I asked him, and he said, well, he had some grandkids or a son or something. They would always go camping, and instead of looking at nature, they had to look at their PSPs, and he would just buy the hell out of these movies. And keep in mind, when these things were out, they were not cheap. I mean, they were like $20 or so to pick these up. I mean, you can still see, GameStop stickers on these things for $18.99. It's ridiculous. And to think that they would buy so many of these for their kids, but hey, that's the way it is, and you see where they end up. It's either here or a landfill somewhere, and I would much rather them be on my shelf than in the dirt somewhere. There's just something that is so relaxing about watching a full-length movie or a TV show or whatever you like to watch in the palm of your hand. And it's a great feel-good moment, and the PSP was excellent. That, like, the way it would condense that into that small screen, it actually looked really good. Graphically, it was quite impressive. Now, this guy that you see walk up next to me, he's not a hunter or anything. He actually works at this flea market, and he's here to collect table money. Anytime you go to the flea market, you got to pay for these tables. I think it's like $15 a table, $5, for each additional. He's an awesome person. I've known him for a long time, and he says, "Hey, Reno, what are you looking at?" And I was like, "Well, we got some UMDs here." Turns out he collects these things as well. It is absolutely crazy, the people that you meet you have no idea about, and I've known him for so long, and I had no idea he collected UMDs. And he's a cool dude. I had no problem letting him dig in here. He said he only wanted a few, but the problem is when you hear how cheap they are, it's hard to stop at just one. I mean, hell, I ended up with like 17 or 18 movies total, and he ended up with quite a few himself. I strongly feel that UMDs will increase in price as far as a collector's standpoint. Now, obviously, at a yard sale flea market, they're probably always going to remain dirt cheap for the most part, but I do feel that they are going to start gaining a little bit more popularity when it comes to the collecting community. Now, I'm not saying go out and pay $4 or $5 a piece for these things, but if you can get them for $1 or so, pick them up. If you want to pay a little bit more, if it's just an extremely awesome title that you doubt you'll see in the future for quite some time, it's definitely the time to pick these up, because I have passed on these many occasions just because I had no interest in them, and now I got bit by this bug to collect these UMDs, and I'm loving it. Hell, you never know when the power is going to go out, and you find yourself laying back on the couch watching something crazy on the PSP. That was actually one part of my plan when it came to Hurricane Irma. If we were going to have, power outages for a day or two, I had the PSP charged up, the DS charged up, an SP, I was ready to go. And fortunately, we didn't even have a power outage up here. I know some people got hurt and lost some things down south. I hope you are doing okay. But this is why I picked these up, because it's good to have a backup plan. Boredom is a terrible thing when it comes to a power outage, so this is a great thing to have. Now, I'm sure a handful of you out there are eyeballing that Mario Kart shirt back there. It was actually a youth size. They wanted $3 for it. Had it been an adult size and, $1 to $2, I would have picked it up. Always go after your video game merchandise, especially if it's clothing. It's great resale, and hell, you may even get lucky and find some clothes that actually fit you. And it's the best place to get any memorabilia video game wise is yard sales and garage sales, because that stuff is so high dollar whenever you're buying it new. So by the end of this sale, I was able to leave with 18 UMDs, and I was able to haggle it down to only 14 bucks. It was an absolute excellent deal. This pickup here is through the eyes of the wonderful Miss Renebean, and this was a Facebook posting. They listed that they had a Sega Genesis and a couple Game Boys, and they only wanted $30 for it. Of course, I'm going to message them and say, hey, what's going on with this? And she says that the Game Boys did not work, and I was like, well, would you take anything less? And she said $20 for a Sega Genesis, 4 games, the 2 Game Boys, which the only problem with them was just, corrosion in the battery compartment, which is very common, and it's a very easy fix. Now, I'm sure you also noticed that NES Power Set box that she had her hands on as we walked up to the sale. The reasoning behind it is because with anything that I pick up, I'm always going to ask, do you have anything else that you're wanting to get rid of? And when I asked her, she says, I got the NES Power Set box. It has everything except the actual system. And I was like, well, hell, how much do you want for it? With everything that we're getting here now, because keep in mind, I'm only paying $20 for just the Sega Genesis Game Boys and all that. She said she wanted like $35 for everything. I actually left with that power set box for $30 altogether. And like I said, it had everything in there minus the actual system and cords. It was an excellent pickup. This is a variant that I did not have, and I'm very happy to put this one on the shelf. And I gotta say, that box was in really good condition. There was a few little spots of wear, but that's gonna be common when it comes to something like this. But for what it was excellent. And the power pad itself was in pristine condition. It was actually an upgrade to my power pad, which I will never use, but you know, like I say, I like to upgrade my collection. I like to get healthier over time. And this thing being brand new, never used, it was definitely an upgrade. So for $30 for all this, it was an excellent pickup. The two Game Boys alone, I'm very excited because I'm sure a lot of you know out there, I like to do mod work, and the backlight mod on an original Game Boy is awesome. It is so worth it. I am so glad that I learned how to do it because it makes the original Game Boy so much more awesome. And I'm not sure if you saw it, but the original Game Boys had a game inside of them, and one was Alleyway, which is very common, and the other one was Super Mario Land, which is a very fun game. If you've never played it and you happen to have a Retron 5, put that little son of a gun in there, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I found original Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and color and all that. They look so good on a Retron 5. Upscaled, it is beautiful. So here I am at the flea market, and we are at one of my buddies. You've seen him in a lot of pickups, and the only thing that he had today was this really awesome Super Mario Galaxy strategy guide. The thing was in excellent condition, nothing too crazy with the disc here, but I was able to pick up this strategy guide for only $3. He wanted $5, which was a little bit high. $3 was a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but like I said, this dude's awesome. I always like to help him out whenever I can. I don't know what it is about strategy guides, but I'm getting sucked into them more and more here lately, especially if they're really awesome games. And I want to get into magazines, but you know, I'll tell you, this is the God's honest truth. I don't own one single Nintendo Power. I have never found them in the wild. Whenever they were actually out, you know, I never bothered to get them. Like I never had the subscription. I never see them in the wild, and it hurts me so bad knowing that I don't own one single Nintendo Power. Hopefully that'll change. Hopefully I'm going to come across a yard sale that just has a big old bucket full of them. But as of now, I don't have a single one, so maybe that's why I'm getting so attached to these strategy guides. Alright, so believe it or not, this is going to be the last pickup for the week, but it is my favorite and it is the biggest. I'm going to apologize in advance. It's going to be choppy. The reason for that is because the guy who was running this sale did not want to be on camera. I fully respect that. I'm not going to be a dick and put him on there anyway, so you're going to see it's going to be choppy throughout this whole pickup. Now, this was a yard sale that listed that it had video games. It started at like 7 in the morning, and I believe it, I got there like at 8. It was a real casual day for me. You know, I figured it would have been picked through by the time I got there. Turns out it hadn't. They said that barely anybody showed up at all, and they weren't even interested in video games. So whenever I pulled up, at first I was extremely disappointed because when I saw who the person was, I've seen him before, and he used to charge pretty high prices, or at least the only time that I encountered him, everything was individual, pretty close to retail. But don't let that discourage you from actually picking anything up. You may find that the situation is entirely different, which was the case with this one. Now, a good way to gauge someone's prices whenever it comes to selling video games, find something common, Mario 3 or something for the NES. How much do they want? If they say 20, they're charging full retail. If they say 5, you're in the business to pick up something at a good price. But what I look at down here is this huge box full of PlayStation 2 power cords as well as the TV AV cords, and I'm sitting here thinking in my head, well, hell, I'll pay $1 a piece for a few of these. And I asked him how much he wanted, and he said $1 for the entire box. And right then and there, that's when I knew shit was going down, and I'm going to leave out of this yard sale with some stuff. And sure enough, I did, and it was an excellent pickup. Now, you see me start off small here. I'm going through all the cords. That is something that is overlooked. Anytime you come across a situation where there's power cords, TV cords, pick them up. If you can get them for $1 or $2 a piece, they are excellent to have because they are usually a lot more expensive if you need to replace one for a system. Now you'll see I'm starting to make a pile here of some of the stuff that I'm getting. I grabbed that N64, the Jungle Green. He only wanted $20 for it. It did come with an expansion pack as well as a standard jumper pack with it, so that was an excellent deal in itself right there. Now, I did ask him, I said, man, why are you getting rid of all this stuff at these prices? And he just said he's done with it. He's getting out of it, which is bittersweet. It's sad, because I hate to see anybody get out of this awesome hobby, but it's great because if you are, a collector, a hunter like us, you can always benefit from it. Now, I know with as choppy as this footage is going to be, it's going to be real hard to see what I actually pick up. I didn't realize how much I actually looked at this guy, but I mean, that's what you do whenever you're haggling and you're buying stuff. You look people in the eye, and that just shows that you are a human. And so I had to cut out a lot of pieces, and I know it's hard for you to see actually what I pick up. There are a lot of things, and all I paid out of everything I picked up here was $80. Now you can see in the background I picked up that yellow N64 controller. It had a loose stick, but I paid $5 for it. I love putting the aftermarket GameCube style joystick in there. They are excellent when it comes to playing Mario Kart. Now, there are so many things that I wish I had more money to pick up, because keep in mind, I only came to the sale with $80. I was going to use that throughout the day for multiple yard sales, but I found myself spending all I had at this one specific sale. I wish I had more because everything was so cheap. I almost thought about going to the ATM, but I decided against it. But I still came out on top. So the things that cost so much at this sale, and it was not these controllers. All my controllers were $1 a piece, the accessories, all that. I got that big box of PlayStation 2 cords, the AV cord and power cord for $1 for the whole box. Those things weren't what was expensive. It was the complete in box VIC-20 with Seamus. It was the disc drive in the box for the Commodore 64, as well as the Commodore 64 and the Jungle Green N64. That was the big bulk of everything that I paid. Like I said, $80 for all that. And when you see in the pickups exactly everything I got, because it does not serve justice, the footage that I got here. Now, this guy was absolutely awesome to talk to. He had a really funny sense of humor like I do, and that's what really makes a yard sale great. Whenever you can actually have fun rather than just, pickups are great, but whenever you can meet really cool people, that just changes everything. And he kept asking if there was anything specific I was looking for, because he wasn't getting rid of everything. He was just getting rid of a lot of extra stuff that he had no use for. He was only going to keep the stuff that he really wanted, which I see a lot of collectors doing nowadays. And he would go downstairs and pull out some really cool stuff. He pulled out really good manuals here. I picked up Brain Lord as well as Robo Trek and Super Mario All-Stars. And I want to say he probably paid like $1 a piece for them. Everything was super cheap, except for the bigger items that you saw there, which were still a really good deal. Now you'll see that there's a huge box of Sega Genesis Model 2 consoles down there. I was actually going to pick that up. It was $5 for the entire box. He said some of them were defective, some of them were untested. $5 would have still been a good deal, but I did pass on it. And I'm sure you saw that complete unboxed Super Metroid he had back there. He pulled that out of his personal collection. He was willing to sell the box and the manual for the right price, and he would have probably sold it really cheap, considering everything else that I got. But I did not have enough on me. Like I said, I had to be real selective with what I picked up here. I only had $80 total to spend, and I think I did pretty damn good. Now, as we're sitting here talking, he knew that I did some solder work, some mod work, and he thought here was some other stuff that I might be interested in. He pulled out a Sega Saturn that was defective. The lid wouldn't open. He said it wouldn't read disc. He only wanted $5 for it. It's not a terrible deal, but like I said, I got to be selective on the money that I spend. And he also pulls out this Atari Jaguar. He says he does not know what was wrong with it. He only wanted $5 for it. It was missing the screws. This was the only time I've ever even seen an Atari Jaguar in a while. That sort of thing is not common on this side of the world. But I did pass on it. Like I said, I did not know what I was getting myself into with it. Now, there is a whole lot that you do not see me grab. All these small individual items, that are very cheap. Like I'm sure you saw earlier, I picked up Ocarina of Time for the GameCube. He only wanted $5 for that, and I actually got Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube as well for free with it bundled up. And he was real good at tallying all this up. Here you see me pick up the Fallout Trilogy for PC. I don't collect PC unless it's just something that is absolutely awesome, and I am a huge fan of Fallout, as I'm sure a lot of you know right there. I was able to even get a black Sega Dreamcast sports controller for $1 in excellent condition. This just goes to show you, do not judge a book by the cover. I was discouraged at first when I got to the sale. I thought, oh man, I've encountered this guy before. He charges pretty high price, close to retail. But look at what I got. You never know what the situation is going to bring you. So if you watch the pickups and you actually see everything that I get, because a lot you didn't get to see on camera, you will know that $80 was an absolute excellent deal. great end to the week.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed all that awesome live footage. Just like always, we're going to go over everything kind of quickly here because I got so much stuff to go through. I don't want this video to be extremely long. But anyways, if I can remember anything about it, I'll tell you. If not, we're just going to kind of zoom through it. It's never in any real particular order because it always gets scattered around. And then we'll announce the winner to the contest giveaway. I don't know where to start. Let's start with this box right here. Actually, so the big yard sale, you saw it. Absolutely excellent. I paid $80 for everything. There was a little bit of a bundle deal at the end, but everything was such good, excellent prices. I didn't have to haggle that much. Like, it was already set for me. So I'll just kind of tell you the prices that I paid, and we'll just kind of add it up. This is an empty box. There was nothing in here. Actually, there's like some manuals and something. Not even like the styrofoam. $2 for that. I just got this for display for the workshop. $2 for the PlayStation 2 box. I can deal with that. That's awesome. I got a complete inbox, not a good condition, but a copy of Shamus for the VIC-20, which I don't know anything about. I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to the Commodore and the VIC-20, but this will go great with my complete inbox VIC-20. This thing is, he says, working. Complete inbox. I paid $20 for this, and it came with Shamus. There was a few items that he wanted a little bit more, and it's understandable. $20 for the VIC-20 with Shamus. Shamus was a great deal. On top of that, another thing that he had that I was just eyeing, and he gave it to me for $5. He said he didn't know if it worked, which was so much stuff to go through. The Commodore 64, like I said, I don't know much about these things. You got to get a monitor for them. Complete inbox Commodore 64, $5. I think it may be missing the manual. That's an excellent deal right there. Oh my God. It's going to be more display than anything. I doubt I'll ever hook that up. And I also got, it was the very last thing that we dealt with. I literally gave him all the money I had on, and I ended up getting some change out of the car because I didn't have anything left. He wanted $20 for this. I got it for $10, and that is the complete inbox Commodore disk drive. I'm telling you, the deals were there, people. These were all excellent steals. That was great. For $20 more, what I got was a Jungle Green N64. It does not have the expansion in it. It's got a standard jumper pack, but there was an expansion pack with it that he threw in. He says he didn't know if it worked. We're going to test that out. Jungle Green 64 with a controller, an expansion pack. That's basically what I paid for everything, so that's definitely awesome. I already got a Jungle Green right there, so I don't need that. That's absolutely excellent. A lot of this stuff was $1 a piece, you'll see. $1 a piece PlayStation 2 controllers. I asked him if they worked. He said they did. I'm going to take his word on it. He was a former collector. It's so sad when people get out of collecting, but great for me. Paid a few bucks for this Nintendo 64 controller right here. It's got a bad stick, but like I said, I like to get the GameCube aftermarkets and replace them. They're great for Mario Kart. I'm excited about that. I can't wait for that new, the Fighter aftermarket N64 controller. Kind of looks like a Hori pad. I got one. Hopefully it's going to come sometime this month. I'm going to do a review on that. Jet Force Gemini for the 64. Couldn't remember if I picked it up. It was $1. I'm going to pick it up anyways. Paid $1 for the power packs here. There were no TV cords for the 64, which was weird. Let's see, some other stuff here. Everything was just so cheap. Always $1. RBI Baseball 2 with the Tengen sleeve. Tekken 3, $1. I did pay $5 for this, but it came with another game. I can't remember what it came with, but it was free with it. But Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the GameCube, Master Quest, that sort of thing. Paid $2 for a complete inbox Super RC Pro-Am for the Game Boy. Absolutely excellent. This does not have the game, but I paid $1 for it, which was Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas for the Game Boy Advance. It has the manual. I'm just missing the game. It's a great deal, man. Oh my God. $1 for a sealed Secret Agent Clank and Daxter for the PSP. I'm growing my PSP collection, so that's awesome to pick up. These were some very excellent manuals, and I probably paid like $1 a piece for them. We got Brain Lord right there. Excellent. Super Mario All-Stars. Honestly, I don't even think I paid for them. He may have thrown them in. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and now the Big Daddy, Robo-Trek. The manual right there, that is absolutely excellent. I don't have the game, but that is a pretty obscure game. Pretty obscure manual. Don't pass your manuals up. You'd be surprised what you can find. Paid $1 for NBA Jam because I have NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I do not have that one. Paid $1. Oh, that's what it was. Crystal Chronicles was $1, but I got that and Ocarina of Time for $5 for the pair. Gauntlet Dark Legacy, paid $1 for it. Orphan Scion of Sorcery. I may have this, but I picked it up for $1. I don't have it, so that's good. That's another one. Add. Paid $1 for this. I'm just such a huge Fallout fan. It's the Fallout Trilogy. That'll go good up there with all my Fallout memorabilia. A pretty cool Game Boy sleeve right here where you can put all your Game Boy games in there. $1 for that. This was thrown in. Very awesome. A 3DO software catalog. Very, very cool. 3DO is such an obscure system. That's going to go great over here with my very limited collection of 3DO stuff, which I can't even fit you in there, but we'll dick off with you later. $1 for the Sega Sports controller. Very good condition. I need the system. I don't have it, and you know I love my Sega. I'll get it at some point, but $1 for that? Woo! That's my new controller to play with. I have my favorite controllers. That's my new one. A sensor for the Super Scope. Picked that up, like I said, $1. $1 with the dongle for the original Xbox controller. Quick Shot, $1. NES controller, $1. Zapper, $1. I'm going to pick up my controllers. You already know that. Another power pack for the 64, $1. Always pick up your power packs. Those things are getting pricey. I paid $1 for the Power Link, $1 for Circus, because I don't know if I have it. I don't think I do. I think I have the game, but not complete in box, so that's good for $1. The Sonic and Knuckles, can't remember like the official name for this, but you can put the game onto it and play. It's not for resale run. $1. Those are always good to pick up. Usually passed over. These were cool. These are some retro collector pins from Nintendo, obviously. I got that. They're both Marios. I picked those up. They were probably like $1 each thrown in. Here is the expansion pack that was just thrown in. And then I got all these memory cards. I don't know how many there is, like 10 or so in the N64 memory card. I paid $2 for that whole bag. That's a great deal. I'm always needing memory cards for when I'm bundling my system. Let's get you out the fuck on. So much stuff, man. From the same person, alright, we got Xenosaga 3. It's the art book for it. The game's obscure and rare, so that'll go great with it. Let's see. I got a whole bunch of Nintendo NES sleeves and Funko Land sleeves. They were more like thrown in, or maybe like $1. They're not worth it. You know, I mean, I add them up and then lot them off. I don't, I actually use unofficial ones because these are worth more money. I got a full box. I'm not going to pick this box up, but a full box of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, doesn't matter which model, for the AV cord, TV cord, full box, and then the power cord for the fat ones. For $1 for the whole box. The whole box. I was probably going to give them $1 a piece for them, but $1 for the whole box. That was the first thing like that I bought that I knew I was like, this is going to be a damn good sale right here, and it turned out it was phenomenal. $1 for a whole box of that shit. All right, that's it. That's all I got from them. $80 for all that. If you don't pick that up, you're a dumbass. The only thing that I got at the flea market this weekend was a very awesome limited edition or premiere edition of Super Mario Galaxy, the strategy guide. Very cool, very nice condition. Super Mario Galaxy was an excellent game. I definitely had fun with it. All right, now the last thing that we got here, there wasn't that many sales or like hits at flea market, but the ones that I got, they were just excellent. So the one thing that I got through a Facebook posting, they had like a Sega Genesis, some games and Game Boys. They wanted like 20 or they wanted $30 originally for it. Then she's all like, well, the Game Boys I found out don't work. I was like, well, how much for everything still? She's like, $20. Excellent deal. So I'm going to ask her, I was like, do you have anything else? And she says, well, I got the box for the Nintendo NES Power Set. So I paid $30 for everything you're going to see me pull out here. So obviously the first thing, the box, which is complete minus the system. It has the power pad, the manual, styrofoam, all that. Excellent condition. This is a variant I do not have. So now I got 3 box NESs, 3 Genesis, only 1 Super. But God, that's awesome. Oh, that's excellent right there. I was super happy about that. Alright. And then right here, this is everything else that I paid, like I said, $30 for everything. So inside here, well, no, actually there was before we finish. Well, no, we'll finish up here. $30. All right, we got 2 of the Game Boy. She says they don't work. It's got battery corrosion. That's fine. I can easily fix that. One's missing a battery pack. Came with Super Mario Land and Alleyway. Already, like, we're in the clear, so this is great. There was 1 copy of Duck Hunt, Super Mario Duck Hunt. I'll add that with the thousands that I got. The Sega Genesis, it's a Model 2. You don't need to see me pull it out. And also, we have some Sega Genesis games, which was Bubsy 2. Sonic Classics, Sonic the Hedgehog, excellent bundlers. The Ren and Stimpy Show, Stimpy's Invention. And then Winter Olympic Games. And then, of course, the Power Pack. It's only missing the TV cable for the Sega Genesis. That's fine. I got plenty of them. That's it. That's all I got. $30, man. That was an excellent deal right there. Absolutely happy about that one. I did get some other stuff at the flea market. I forgot all about it. All right. For $15, I got all 5 of these games. I kind of got these because I wasn't finding it much. You know, I wanted something. Some games I did not have. Some not great games, but we got Busy Scissors. We got Sim Animals. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Sonic Colors, which I did not have, and the Amazing Barbie Super Sports. Before I go to the last part, let's go ahead and announce the winner to the weekly contest giveaway. I'm trying to consciously put this where it's like easily found. Alright. The winner to this week's contest giveaway. I'll write it down. Retro Dealer. I recognize you can be recognized. I don't know if there's other names, but I pulled the one out that was picked, and it has the Z. That was like the Zelda Z. You are the winner. $20 store credit to my eBay store. If you see a game that's $20, you get it for free. If you see one that's $30, you get it for $10. Works that way. Send me a message on Instagram if you can, not on eBay. eBay's kind of getting dicky when it comes to sending messages. They always think I'm doing outside business. Send me a message on Instagram if you can, or through YouTube if you know how to do it, and we'll go from there. But you got $20 store credit. If you didn't win, people, it's always next week, because I'm telling you, there's usually like 200 contestants by the end of it. Throw it into the randomizer, you get popped. But anyways, the last pickup that I got, I paid... They were $1 a piece, but I think I ended up paying like 75 cents to 80 cents a piece for these. Bunch of UMD movies, man. I'm getting into collecting the UMD movies for the PSP. And I'll show you all of what I got. Like I said, they were like 75 cents to 80 cents each. Some good titles. We got The Island, which is a good movie. Terminator 3. Dave Chappelle, for what it's worth. He's awesome. I tell you how old we're getting, man. I was at work, and a little 16-year-old girl, Dave Chappelle came to my town, and he was doing some show, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to go see that Dave Chappelle, and she's all like, I don't listen to country that much. So, it's getting terrible, people. South Park When Technology Attacks, which I actually may already have that. Not Another Teen Movie. Stallone, First Blood. Sin City. American Wedding. Office Space, excellent. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, American Pie 2, Hellboy, oh fuck, this is an awesome movie. Starship Troopers, man, that's absolutely awesome. Would you like to know more? Appleseed, right there, very cool. The First American Pie, one of the best stoner movies right here, man. This is absolutely excellent. Grandma's Boy, oh my god, that is a funny movie. And then finally, Bob Marley, The Legend Live. All this stuff, people, is absolutely ridiculous. There's stuff everywhere. I gotta clean this room. I got some people coming over later. This is crazy. I hope y'all enjoyed these awesome live finds. This was an excellent week for me, especially with a lot of the older computer stuff. That is just really cool. It's going to look great. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.